iPad, iPhone, Safari, and your Finder or Message. So I'm gonna click in the one that says Safari or your browser, whatever is the screen that you have there. Are you guys able to see it? Basic, and then you have Advanced and Files. So files basically is you have a Google Drive, you can export your file and then to share the screen. So on my position, since I don't have Google Drive, I'm gonna click in the one that say Basic, and I'm gonna click on my browser. The one I have under is under Finder. I'm gonna just export my presentation. You guys will be able to see all my stuff in here. There we go. It's a Peru. You click there, and then that's how you actually share your screen.
I'm gonna check if everybody's on board. In any case, the people who are presenting, I recommend that you and I connect with each other the day before. Eliud and I connect on Sunday. So we were trying to work with the system. And for the other people who are going to present here, you connect with me, and then we go over together, okay? All right?
Okay.
All right. Okay, good. So the class is yours.
All right. So all of you guys are safe and healthy. So it was just been a weird week, and I know we're gonna go through this. But while I was reading the novel, it got my attention a lot of things, and it took my head to pretty much what they were living during 1980 all the way to 2000. It was very, very intense. And the author, Claudia, she was going to share that with us. But she wasn't trying to share that in 3 different versions. She was trying to share in the same version. She had the same of what actually they were going through and what they actually suffer. So that's why I put as a title, Peru and the Violence to the Feminists, because it was most in general, but the novel talks more about the three particular individual with 3 different social wealth. So the first one that I have is internal conflict in Peru, and the reason why this one, it was to take you guys other oh my god,
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Eliud, can you go to the actual PowerPoint presentation, because we're still looking at your book?
Yes,
okay.
It's not going.
No.
Yep.
No, it's not.
I think you just have to reopen it.
One second, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry. You know, it's a whole learning process for all of us, so don't worry.
All right. Can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
we can.
No?
we see it.
Okay. So what I was doing wrong. Just to not do it again. So can you guys see it this now? One second.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So like I was saying, so between 1980 and 2000, Peru went through a lot of things. But let's focus on the novel. So we have Modesta. She was a social worker, and she actually left her job to go over the mountains and to kind of the way the perspective that I got from her, I feel that she kind of forced herself to join the
Shining Path.
oh my god, what was the name? I'm so sorry, I'm just nervous.
Don't worry, everybody can give Eliud a hand.
The Shining Path.
The Shining Path, yeah.
The Shining Path, yes. And I feel that she was just kind of forced, but they definitely what they did to her, it just wasn't right at all. And that's something that we still live now into this day. That a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
straight feminists, and it wasn't a particular word that they used that really got my attention. And I got the definition. It's intersectionality. So, and that's one thing that they describe what they actually suffer. Is it the interconnected nature of social categorization, such as race, class, and gender, as they apply to a given individual or group, regard has created overlapping and interpreted system of discrimination. That's something that we see today's day in terms of when people are homophobic or they discriminate Black people.
Right.
Vote online. And we're still seeing that, and it just does not right. But one thing that really, it was something very interesting when we see Melanie. She was a photographer, and she was white and blonde, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of she was living her best life, but it was something on her that kind of it was her guts that was telling her, you have to go there and to actually find out for yourself what is really happening in Peru. What she was overhearing from all the people. And that's something that we do as humans. We kind of go overheard, and we actually can apply it with this coronavirus. We overheard a lot of things that we not do our research. And this is something that she actually did. She went there for the good, but actually ended up being bad because the outcome wasn't the best. Yes, she did find out what was really happening over there, but we all see how it ended up.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up killed.
Right.
And then we have Marcela, that she was living in the mountain, and she was speaking the language, which is Quechua.
Quechua.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I can hear you guys. Can you say it one more time?
Yes.
Oh, we actually see throughout the novel some words, and just to prove us what they were living.
Mm-hmm.
And I just to you guys give you a rough estimation. They say to the terrorism that Peru lived throughout those years, over 69,000 people died, which innocent people. Because what they were saying, basically, if you don't follow what I follow, you are against me, so we have to kill you. And that's pretty much what these females went through.
Right.
Because they have a different ideologies, and they have a different mindset, and there wasn't what El Sendero Luminoso was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, so you have against us.
But remember that in the novel, we don't see only the violence from Sendero Luminoso.
Right.
Right? It's not always Sendero Luminoso, or only Sendero Luminoso, because sometimes that's a very convenient narrative, just to blame only one side without assuming responsibility of the other side, right?
Right.
I'm not advocating for any type of violence, but every action is a reaction of a previous action. So don't forget about that, because the novel is actually very clear, trying to describe the violence without actually doing it from a perspective. And I think that Claudia Salazar did a very good job doing that.
Yeah, given a very open,
right?
Open, we can say open book and open option for you, open mindset.
Right.
I was reading an interview that we're doing to her, and she was like, "There's people you can take the novel in different ways. Some people will take that she's defending, and other people she was telling the truth.
Right.
And that's why she decided just to kind of high class, middle class, and poor.
Mm-hmm.
Different version of two different people, but with the same, kind of with the same bridge that connect them one another.
Right. All right. let's carry on. That's very good. You're doing that's a very good one. But I want also to start interacting with everybody else's. Were you able to identify? And I'm not asking you, Elio. I'm asking for the whole class in general. Were you able to identify any? Because the book is still it's a novel. It's not like the documentary that we saw in class, the Years of Fear, which is actually a documentary truly showing real events.
Real people.
Uh-huh. This one is a novel, it's a fictional account. However, were you able to identify what
Yes.
what part of real events happened? Georgina, you said yes.
I didn't get the. What did you say? Well, I didn't get the last part. I thought you were going to say.
What are the real facts? What are the real events that she thinks that she get inspired to write?
Well, I was able to identify which characters she based the characters on the book from the video that we watched.
Well, no,
Because you had.
that's actually an interpretation. We cannot say that. What we can actually say is that the years are real, from 1980 to 1988, 1985. But there is a specific part of the book that has a description of a tragedy, and that tragedy was real. Everybody were able to identify that tragedy, that massacre. Tell me.
The village massacre.
Were we identified? Huh?
Yes.
What is
Are you
it?
talking about like the film that we saw in class where we saw the babies being killed and the
Right.
people being
And
killed?
correct, Cindy.
And in the book they showed
We
like
saw that. I mean,
crack.
still remember in the documentary that image of raising the
Yes,
corpse.
the baby.
I think it's very traumatic. She put it there, but the image that we saw in the documentary happened, and they happened where? And now in Peru.
It was in the book that there was like there were people that came into a house and they killed everyone, including a baby, and they said, "Why is that happening? Like, what damage can a baby do?"
Right.
I thought that was crazy too.
And they made them eat the ear or something like that. They were like, eat the ear.
And that's not fiction, actually.
That was an interesting way that she expressed, though, certain things that happened, because I feel like when she would write things that didn't make sense.
Yes, good job, Georgina. For example, the sounds, crack.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Every time you read those cracks, it is very hard not to imagine the cracking.
Yeah.
And she does it constantly. She doesn't constantly.
Yeah. I feel like as it goes on, it gets worse, because even in the beginning, it wasn't as bad. It was like she was describing herself being at her home, and then the lights are going off. She hears bombs, and then as the book progresses, then it gets more descriptive and a lot more gruesome and bloody. And she's talking about people having to I don't know if it was kill each other, or like someone had to kill their own husband.
Right.
I think it was when she had to kill Domingo. Domingo had to kill what was his name? I forget his name. Yeah, exactly. But it was very like gruesome. There was some like sexual things in there as well. That
there was a part, was she said that she was talking with a lady and then all of a sudden it got sexual. Was she gay? No.
Yeah, so
right.
Melanie had a lover, right? That she.
But she was in France.
The artist. At first, I thought it was a guy, but
yeah, I thought at the beginning I thought it was a guy, and then
I was building up the character in my head as a male, and then
yeah.
The novel is all about women. It's all about women in all sort of options, or diversity.
Diversity, yeah.
Now, and these three women, Modesta, Melanie, Marcela, they are very different to each other.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about Marcela. Let's focus on Marcela.
I think she had a vision to help, she was a teacher, and she exposed herself to, these poor communities. And then I think her decisions came from frustrations from the government not having her back to, you know, make these changes that she wanted to make. And she saw the future for her child, you know, being similar to these other, you know, children that were, you know, going through, you know, living in these very poor places. So I feel like the book kind of in a way makes you kind of understand where she's coming from, why she would make these decisions for her daughter, as far as, you know, joining the revolutionary.
Okay.
And
so Georgina, I'm sorry. Marcela, she's a professor, she's a teacher, but we can tell that from her socioeconomical background, she doesn't belong to the rich, no?
No.
But she doesn't belong to the bottom.
That's what I thought was interesting about her. I feel that, you know, being part of the guerrilla was giving her that sense of security that she never had, because she was poor, right? So she grew up feeling in her own flesh what need is, lacking stuff, being part of a vulnerable community, and also being forgotten, because the government did not think about those people at all. They were completely abandoned. So when she gets into the guerrilla movement, I feel that even though by common sense we understand that that's wrong, they're killing, they're using violence to seek for justice, that gave her a sense of security of, hey, I belong to something now, I have power. You know, in the words she used, how my hands were designed to hold the gun, and even when I wasn't when I didn't have the gun with me, like in my belt, I felt naked. So it's like, you know, she found identity, she found that empowered, yes, so she had control of something.
However, in the end, she is not advocating for the guerrilla movement. She was very realistic, and then she fell in passionate about the goals, the idealism, the social change, but she also suffered, and she actually became a victim.
I think it was pretty nasty too, the way they gave details of how justice looked like for them. That for me was even hard to read.
Yes, good. So I think the author does a very good job trying to transmit the type of violence that these women suffer.
Yeah, I think that's why the success of the novel, right?
Movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, something. So we can actually say that somehow the novel and the movie that we watch from Colombia.
The documentary.
Yeah, no, the movie. No, the documentary, but actually the Colombian movie.
The colors of the mountain colors.
To each other, but you know, that one was showing the kids. This one is the novel is describing 3 different women, but at the same time, there's something going on in the country. And just like you were saying, the government is not backing up. Then they don't have that support.
Right. I'm actually talking about the 3 women because I'm trying to help the next presentation, which is going to happen in 2 weeks, in April 7th. I'm going to talk about that because there is one particular woman that I want to focus. But now let's talk about Melanie. Just by the name, Melanie. I mean,
I thought like
in Latin America, these names are very stereotypical. Melanie, Samantha. Normally,
it's not that Latino.
It's westernized.
I'm like, well,
you can even picture her as a white, blonde, etc. But tell me your impressions. So let's describe Melanie.
I thought it was
with Marcela. Let's talk about Melanie.
I thought it was like interesting to have like Melanie in the book because she was like different from everyone. She like she was like from like a city. And she like went to parties with like congresswomen and political stuff. So it was like kind of different seeing someone who was like used to going to all these like luxurious like parties.
Right. So she is in Lima. She's in the capital, no? But
she's in the capital. Yeah, she's a city girl, very different from the other ones.
Correct. Carry on, Anilla.
Excuse me?
Anaya?
What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Oh no, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, all pretty much has says like I think she's like way different from the other people. She almost has like sort of like a privilege to be able to speak on the issues that's happening, especially since she's like a woman. Right. So I thought like she was a pretty interesting character to have.
Yeah, but she.
And also, I think she in certain points she had like she was shocked because she was a periodist.
Cool.
And
That's
she
very
had
good.
to see
Because
all
well,
the
I'm sorry, I didn't
things
get that part.
that
She was a
happened,
journalist.
Oh yeah.
Journalist.
and she had to see all the things that happened since like in the point of her perspective and the in like how can I say this in the point of the society she was. I mean, she wasn't poor, she was in another level.
Yes,
And
yes, she goes to the privilege level.
exactly.
Yeah.
She
And
was
she-
white. She came from a very good family. She was
Exactly.
very well connected, but she was a journalist, correct? And when,
Yes.
that's important because in one of her fields work when she was going to the countryside, she captures the moment.
Yeah.
If
There
you-
were times where
correct, Georgina.
no, I was just gonna say there were times where she said that she wished she didn't have to see certain photographs that she took because they were so.
She says she wishes the
Yeah.
camera would speak by itself
So
without
the
her
goal-
having
the
to
goal-
filter it.
And that's
Yep.
not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence that Claudia Salazar, the author, used a journalist. Because when la Comisión de la Verdad y Reconciliación, the Truth Commission, decide to investigate the source of the crimes, they have to rely not only on the oral description, but also on the photographies.
Yeah.
Remember in the documentary when they were showing the photographies of the countryside peasants, that were victims of the conflict, and by the photographies they were recognizing each other. The photography at some point is a tool to bring back the past to this present by remembering the trauma by watching or looking at the photography. And
Yeah.
and in her case it was more traumatic because she experienced that at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was carrying the responsibility of kind of gathering the
Mm.
evidence of what happened. Because, yeah, one thing is to tell the story with words, which Salazar, that's a fantastic work. But like pictures are just evidence of what's happening. And I feel that, what I like about her the most is that, she's a rich person. She grew up safe. She didn't experience all of these things that the other two characters did. But the cool thing is that most of people that are in a safe place, they down at violence and poverty, like, oh, I'm so sorry, like that's awful, those poor people. But she didn't stay there. She took herself into the situation. She went there. She felt it. She allowed herself to
yeah.
feel the
Yeah.
need of others, and that's why she blended in
Even
with them.
with the
What
threats,
happened-
even with
what
the
happened
threats.
at the end?
Oh yeah, I really respect Melanie as a character, especially her commitment, to integrity. But I remember in the last section about her, I believe she's hunting with a friend and she's enjoying the moment, but she's saying, you know what, the camera calls, I really have to go back and pursue truth and make sure that this situation doesn't get censored.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's something about her.
Yeah, she's very committed to that. There is also, like a Virgo's Roman applied to older people, of course. There is a change, no? There is a period that makes a change of behavior or a change of seeing things, a time of conscience, a time of a new conscience in her character. Because in the other characters, they were underprivileged. Marcela was from a social class that was witnessing all the lack of opportunities, and wow, Esta is the one who also occupies the bottom line of the society class, not only in Peru, but in many Latin American countries, including here. But in the end, yes, we're still talking about Melanie. What happened to Melanie? Marcela, we know that she was abused and raped.
Right.
And what happened to Melanie?
I believe Melanie was captured by the group, and then I think the government soldiers came in to rescue her at the end. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I always confuse characters.
Yeah, sometimes I would get like a little confused with what's happening to who because
When she switches from one character to the other, I'm like, wait, who am I? Like I would think that I'm still in one, and oh wait, this is